He may be the winner of Australian Idol, but having spent much of his youth growing up in Tauranga, it'd be just plain wrong not to claim Stan Walker as our own.
Self-described Mozzie, that's Māori and Aussie, has had a whirlwind few months since his win, and he joins us now to tell us all about it. Welcome home, Stan.
Oh, thank you very much.
How long are you back in Aotearoa for?
I'll go back on Monday morning, so it's exciting. I just can't wait to eat some food.
Hey, just take us back to the Idol, because I've always wondered, when you entered this competition, we see all the bloopers and things on TV of how people who think they're really good and then aren't so good. Did you always think you could win it, or what was your approach going into it?
Nah, I don't know. Before I went on, and I was just like, man, I just prayed about it. I was like, God, you know, if you want me to do this, then take me all the way, but otherwise just shut down everything. And I went there, and I almost went home on the first audition because it was taking 8 hours. I was like, oh man, there was thousands of people, and I was like, oh, how am I going to get through? Like, all these people can sing, and nah, I never ever thought I could win it until the final two, actually. I thought, oh man, I might be able to win it.
I mean, with a pretty good chance, 50-50.
Yeah.
What's it like doing the actual show? How much pressure is there? Because you come up with your own songs, or you have to choose them, or how does all of that kind of stuff work? And what's the interaction like between you and the other competitors?
I guess it's pretty full on, like, but the thing with it about, you know, the pressure, there's always going to be pressure, but I guess if you go in with a right mindset and, you know, going on with, you know, a solid foundation and you know, some character, I guess, you know, it's not really going to rock you. But if you go on there just wanting to just do this and be, you know, thing, I guess it's going to change. But we were throwing different songs, you know, like we got a list of songs we had to choose from the list. I was actually probably the hardest to deal with because I never wanted to do something that was just like, oh yeah, you know, just that they thought I would do. So yeah. I just always went off the list, and I had troubles with them all the time. But I don't know. But working with everybody and all the...
Is that part of the reason you won, do you think? Because you didn't just conform to what happened and you went, none of these songs work for me, I want to go over here, or, you know, you had an identifiable personality?
Yeah, I guess because I'm different, and I want to show that, not to show because, you know, oh, I want to be different, but because I like different stuff, and I always had a vision of every song that I wanted to do, and I always sat down and thought about it a lot. Like with Single Ladies, when I did Single Ladies, it was funny because everybody was just like, they cracked it at me. They're like, oh, you're stupid. They're like, I went in thinking, I went to the workshop, and I was like, this ain't gonna work. It's never been done. Like, never been, and it was Big Ben. I was like, this is not going to work. And I said, just trust me, I can hear it, and I know it's going to work. And then the last night, it was actually one of my, you know, most songs. So I just had to go with my instinct, I guess, you know, whether it went good or bad. So
so life is going pretty well for you now, but you had a bit of a rocky road leading up to getting to Idol. Can you tell us a bit about that, and what kind of message you wanted to give to other young people out there? Yeah,
well, had a bit of a, you know, we didn't come from the best family, but like, you know, as we were growing up when we were younger, but it took me, I guess, my whole life to get to that point. It was like God was readying me for something like that, and you know, we went through a lot of stuff in our family in, you know, earlier days when I was little, and I actually went through a lot of stuff, but it was character building time, and, you know, I had to really find myself. I didn't know who I was or what I was doing or what I wanted to do, and for me it was just God just kind of just came and just took over. And it's, for me, like, when you give over everything to God, He gives everything back, and you think that you give something over, but He just gives so much more back, and I guess that's what He's done for me, and I had to really trust Him in this. And yeah, like, it's funny, I look at my life how it was. I came from nothing, and now I've got everything. I remember I was telling somebody the other day, we used to live in Flagstaff in Hamilton, and it was kind of the new area, and I used to go, because all the new houses were getting built, and I used to go and break into the houses, and I used to sit there, and
this is not the usual road to stardom, folks, just so you know.
Because I used to sit in there and I used to dream. I used to sit in the lounge of the house, and I'd go, and I would walk along the streets, and I would talk to myself and say, you know what, and it was just like God heard me, and everything that I ever wanted, it's like...
What about holding on to everything you've ever wanted, though? Because one of the troubles with being an Idol winner and stuff like that is that you get all of this publicity, you get all of the promotion, there's people watching the TV every day, and there you are, and you're doing that, and then it ends, and it's just you out there as a musician. How do you make sure that you don't go the way of some of the other Idol winners, you know, that we can't remember the names of?
Yeah. I guess you just gotta, you know, do the smart things, work hard, just make sure you're keeping out there, you know, bringing new songs out, I guess, helps it.
Yeah.
But just keeping, even stuff like this, it's so awesome to be, you know, be on here and people can watch this and stuff and still know that I'm around. I'm still here.
And you're going to be back as well at the end of the show with a performance for us. Thanks. We'll see you again soon. It is 8:01. Coming up this hour on Sunrise.
Anna Fitzpatrick walks us through the winter looks from some of New Zealand's top labels.
And we'll wander around an inner city apartment with a rich history and a modern look.
A weird rap gives bums on seats a whole new meaning.
And then Stan the Man is back. I can't get that out of my mind, that song, but he won't be singing that song. He's performing an Idol classic just before we go.